Good afternoon. It's going to be something different this week. I don't know if you're like me, but I've been inundated with adverts for a bike conversion kit called Cyplore. It looks like a fantastic kit. It's exceptionally lightweight. The motor is 900 grams and the battery is 800 grams. Looks great. Just for a recap, in case you're not completely e-bike savvy, an e-bike system consists of a motor and a battery, obviously. The motor has some circuitry to protect it whilst it's being charged, but there is also a controller, and the controller determines how much energy goes to the motor from the battery, and it uses all of the information that comes in from the various sensors that these systems can have. And then there's a remote that usually sits on the handlebars that lets you know how much battery is left, how fast you're going, that sort of thing. You can change the modes, how much assist you get from the assist system. 4 components. What Cyplore have done is that they've put the controller in the base of the battery, and they've used a Bluetooth remote, so there's very, very little wiring. Now they're saying that this is a brand new thing. It's really not. We'll talk about that in a sec. But it looks like a great thing. And if it's real and if it comes to fruition, then it could be a really great thing. I have a few queries about that, and I hope I'm wrong. I should have said at the beginning, this is my opinion only my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I just had a few red flags about this particular product. I don't have an issue with the product. I hope it's real. I hope everyone gets it, but the timing of things is a little bit dubious. They've spent a fortune on their ad campaign. They also have this product. It does actually exist. I've seen a couple of them online by reviewers who do exist, who have their own channels. I've not seen anyone on a bike related channel review it. They've been gadget channels, and one of them was a food channel. They might be cyclists, but they haven't necessarily ridden an e-bike before. But what I've noticed is that the people who seem to be interested in this system don't seem to know much about e-bike systems, so maybe this will help them with that. But also they might not realise that what they're being offered is an exceptionally low powered system with an incredibly small battery to make that lightweight. So what perhaps people need to know is, how important is it to have an incredibly light e-bike system? And what I'm saying to you is, it's not that important. And the reason for that is because you have an e-bike now. You have a motor that's assisting you. And that lightweight that you've been pursuing as a cyclist all these years is less important. So first off, the motor is rated at 250 watts. That is the legal maximum. These days, that's used as a continuously rated power, and e-bike brands, motor brands are going way past that at a peak power. 250 watts is absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. Bikes such as the Marla X35 system has 250 watts maximum. The latest TQ HPR 40 has 200 watts maximum. So the maximum power is not an issue. What could be a problem is the Newton meters. Torque is the low-end grunt that gets you up hills, and it's also what helps you accelerate. Now again, it's not an issue if you are a lightweight, fit rider on riding fairly flat country. If you are a heavier rider, 23 Newton meters, when it's in the form of a hub motor, is very, very little. So what you'll find is that if you're on a hill that goes past a certain gradient, it will start to not be able to produce its maximum power. They prefer to spin really fast. This hub motor is no different. It likes to spin really fast, and so what they've done is they've got a reduction gearbox inside, so that when you're pedaling and you're going slowly and the wheel is rotating slowly because you're going up a steep hill, the reduction gearbox still allows the motor to spin. Unfortunately, not enough. So a 23 Newton meter motor going up a steep hill with a normal size cyclist on is actually not going to be producing its full power. It's not going to be producing 250 watts. It's going to be a fraction of that. So when you need it most, your hub motor will fail you. If you are on rolling hills where there's nothing too much, or if you're in a town where it's flat, then this motor is not going to have any problems. It really won't. It'll be great. So please look out for the fact that if you're a slightly heavier rider or slightly less fit rider, this motor won't help you up steep climbs. Full stop. The next thing, and this sounds like I'm just griping, is it's the size of the battery. It's the smallest battery I've ever come across, and I review e-bikes on my channels. That's what my channel does. Previously, the smallest was that I've tested is the X35, which has a 252 watt-hour battery. This is 111. It's less than half the size. If you look at how far an e-bike with a 252 watt-hour battery will take you, they usually say it's around 50 kilometers. Now, magically, the Cyplore is claiming 50 kilometers with a 111 watt-hour battery. I think a realistic range with a normal sized rider of normal fitness is going to be less, potentially a lot less. I can't tell you, let's say 20 kilometers. 20 kilometers. If you decide you're going to climb up a big steep hill at the beginning of the ride, you could use up the battery on that one climb. That's possible, particularly because you're thinking, I'm not getting much out of this motor, I'm going to put it up to maximum. So you're trying to get a maximum amount of energy out of a 111 watt hour battery. It's going to go like that. Now, I did have some other problems with this system as well. You need to fit a proprietary brake rotor for it. You can't fit yours, you can't fit somebody else's. It has to be the one that it comes with. Now, I hope Cyplore a long and happy life so that you can always buy replacement brake rotors. But if it fails for some reason, they don't do so well, where are you going to get your brake rotors from for your motor? And some other little design issues that I've seen. If you take the battery out, the pins to connect the battery are exposed. So if you decide to ride without the battery, you'll need to cover those up. If you decide you're going to swap your wheel out and put your original wheel in so you can ride without the motor weight as well, then there's going to be a connector with its pins exposed, so you'll need to bag that because that part stays on the bike. Or you could remove the entire thing. You'll be cutting your zip ties or whatever to take all the cabling off, and the battery mount you'll need to remove as well, and then of course you're back to a normal bike. But if you just want to take some weight off to go for a normal ride and there's any likelihood of any drizzle or dust, rain or anything, then you'll need to cover those up. So the deals they're proposing do look great. For $600 you can get the hub itself, and you'll have to lace it into your own rim, and you'll get the battery, and I think you get the remote as well. Now, once this offer is over, that goes up to $1,149, which is a heck of a lot of money. So obviously people are wading in now and they're putting their money down now. I have a little problem with that as well. If you don't know Kickstarter, you're giving money not for a product. You're giving money for the idea of a product. If the product never comes to fruition, you don't get your money back. Perhaps you didn't know that, but it's a fact. Let's say worst case, let's say it's not them, let's say it's someone else who's just put together a huge ad campaign and they're hoping to get as much money in as possible and they've got no intention of making a product. Let's say it's a different company with that plan. They don't have to give the money back. If you pay with a credit card, normally you get 60 to 120 days to claim back money which has been erroneously taken, shall we say. What Cyplore are saying is that you'll need to pay us on the deadline, which is the 11th of June, and you won't be getting your motor systems until November. July, August, September. That's 5 months. That's beyond the deadline of most credit card claim back features. So I really, really hope that the thing exists, that it is going to be put into full production. Some other little red flags, I suppose, is that their Kickstarter campaign was looking for $10,000. Now for $10,000 they were hoping to get into production. I have a few queries about that, and I hope I'm wrong. But at the moment they've managed to get a huge ad campaign. They've got a physical product because people have tried it. So what was the 10 grand going to go on? And what are they going to spend the 423,000 currently that is sitting on Kickstarter waiting for them to collect on the 11th of June? That's a lot of orders. I just hope that they are all fulfilled. Perhaps people should realise that this isn't the first system that's been like this. It's one of a great number of systems that's been like this, and by like this I mean a hub motor connected by a single cable to a battery and then a wireless remote on the handlebars. One of the most well known is a company called Keyed. They've been making them for 9 years. I believe that's somewhere around $520 with the wheel included. The difference with Keyed is that you don't have to use their battery. Because the controller is in the hub, you can buy any battery you like. So that's actually a real advantage if, like me, you want to put a battery under your seat, under your bottom, because then it makes it really invisible. So you don't, and you've got 2 bottle mounts available on the bike, because normally one of the bottle mounts is taken up with the battery. But there's other brands. There's another brand called Citronex. That one costs £1,300. I think they're British. They've been going for 3 years. They do something similar. There's another company called Geeko. If you want to go cheaper, Geeko make a through axle motor for $312. That will fit either a 142 or a 148 through axle. They are around 40 or 38 Newton meters of torque. If you're worried about a lightweight 24, 28 spoke rim, you shouldn't be. I'm heavy. I've ridden 28 spoke rims without any issue at all. I'm probably heavier than you are. But if you are worried, Geeko do them in a 36 spoke if you like. The Geeko is interesting because it comes with a battery ranging from 7 amp hours, i.e. twice the Cyplore, all the way up to 720 watt hours. Now you would see that one coming. It wouldn't be in any way stealth, but you could ride a long way with that. And their kits are between $557 and $1,000. There's another company in the UK called Boost. They've been going for a number of years. They make the same thing again. They have a 42 Newton meter motor. The Boost system comes with a wireless display and is £727 with the rim, or $579 if you want to lace it into your own rim. And the last one, just to throw out there, is a German company called Pendix, like appendix, who make a 65 Newton meter mid motor. And if you've watched the channel, you know that I rate mid motors far, far, far higher than hub motors when it comes to hills. If it's flatter ground, it doesn't make any difference. But when it comes to hills, a mid motor knocks the socks off a hub motor every time. 65 Newton meter mid motor. This is an aftermarket thing that you can put to the outside of your bike. It's a curious looking thing. I'm not sure it'd be my first choice, but I just wanted to show you that there are established alternatives available. Now, lastly, let's talk about warranties and services. All e-bike systems go wrong. It's a sad fact, but they do, even the most reliable. And the advice I normally give to potential buyers of e-bikes is that they look to find the location of the closest service agent for their bikes. So the same should be true of Cyplore in this case. Where are you going to get your motor serviced if it goes wrong? If there is a warranty claim, are you going to be sending it back to, I think, Hong Kong? Or are they going to have agents more locally? Where are they? Let's hope there's one in your country at least. Setting up a network of trained service agents is quite an undertaking, and I hope they do it. So I hope Cyplore is on the up and up. No other system is as light as this. I love the idea of a 900 gram motor. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Personally, I would recommend waiting for full production before you invest your money. I would also wait for a larger battery, because I don't think a 111 watt hour battery is practical for most people, 99% of people. That's all there is for this week. I'm going to be going back and reviewing bikes from now on and keep my nose out of other people's business. So until the next one, ride happy and thanks for watching.